top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Police Communications Department silent on why majority of the media was barred from Commissioner of Police swearing-in ceremony. Hickens' appointment to be challenged in court. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton says it is unlawful. Opposition concerned over amendments to acquisition of lands for public purposes bill and balanced migration policies touted on International Migrants Day. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Thursday, December 19 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. To avoid questions from the press, the majority of Guyana's press corps was barred from the swearing-in ceremony of the Commissioner of Police and his deputies. You'll have more details in this report. Journalists from multiple news organizations have been deliberately barred from the official swearing-in ceremony of the Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioners of Police on Thursday morning. Instead, journalists were forced to follow the live stream of the swearing-in ceremony. Only a few hand-picked journalists witnessed the swearing-in ceremony. The question as to why the press was not invited to such an important event was met with silence from the Corporate Communications Unit of the Guyana Police Force. In fact, it can be observed that the relationship among the President, the hierarchy of the Guyana Police Force, and the press is now more confrontational and contemptuous than it has been in decades. It is therefore reasonable to assume that the Guyana Police Force and the government at large deliberately shut out members of the press to avoid questions about the constitutionality of appointing Clifton Hicken, who has passed the age of retirement as police commissioner. Nightly News understands that Mr. Hickens' tenure as acting commissioner of police should have legally ended on August 1, 2023. Mr. Clifton Hicken was appointed to act as commissioner of police in March of 2022 when he was 53 years old. He reached retirement age of 55 in July of 2024. To shut out the press from such an important ceremony, President Irfan Ali felt more comfortable and unchallenged to say that he has followed the Constitution when he appointed Mr. Hicken as Commissioner of Police.
So I congratulate you. I have also fulfilled my constitutional requirement for the appointment of the Commissioner of Police, and every aspect of the appointment has been meticulously followed as prescribed by the Constitution. Consultation, everything.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton had already rejected the president's nod of Mr. Hicken being appointed. Norton had listed a series of reasons why Hicken should not be considered for the position. Commissioner Hicken will be supported by 5 deputy commissioners who were all sworn in Thursday morning. They are Mr. Errol Watts, Mr. Simon McBean, Mr. Fasil Karingbaksh, Mr. Ravindranath Budram, and Mr. Wendell Blanham. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, court documents will be filed next week challenging the appointment of Clifton Hicken as police commissioner. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton says not only has Hicken passed the age of retirement, but he's also of questionable character and unqualified. Here's more. The president's appointment of Clifton Hicken as Commissioner of Police will be challenged in court. That's the word from leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, who spoke with reporters soon after Mr. Hicken was sworn in.
Hicken was neither certified nor qualified to be commissioner, and therefore I found it well, not strange, abnormal that they would have appointed him commissioner. And I've spoken to the lawyers this morning, and clearly we're going to take legal action on this one.
In rejecting Hicken's appointment, the opposition leader said that to substantively appoint Clifton Hicken as Commissioner of Police, who has passed the age of retirement, is unconstitutional and illegal.
We believe it's an unlawful appointment appointment because Hicken has passed the age of 55. And if a teacher in this country arrives at the age 55 and she is a deputy head, she cannot be confirmed as a head. And therefore it follows logically that Hicken could not be confirmed. But the government has to pay back Hicken for some of the things he did for them.
Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony, President Ali said that he was satisfied that the decision to appoint Clifton Hicken was correct and that he has fulfilled his constitutional requirement for the appointment of the Commissioner of Police, including consultation.
Because for one, I don't consider myself to have been consulted. And the law said I should be consulted. When he wrote me, I made it very clear that, look, what is needed is an investigation, not the appointment of people who are of questionable character.
The opposition leader said that he had already laid out several reasons why Mr. Hicken should not be appointed commissioner, and those concerns have been ignored.
I indicated to him that the entire leadership of the police force, or most of the people in the leadership of the Guyana police force, should be under investigation, and I urged him to investigate the corruption in the police force. That he would have proceeded to appoint Hicken is indicative of the fact that they are complicit in the corruption.
Article 2111 of the Constitution requires the President to have meaningful consultation with the leader of the opposition before appointing the Commissioner of Police. The President is also required to consult with the Chairperson of the Police Service Commission after the Chairperson has consulted with other members of the Commission. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. In the same light, prominent lawyer and leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, is also adamant that the appointment of Clifton Hicken as Commissioner of Police contradicts the laws of Guyana. Antonio Day is on this story.
It's not legally possible. No, I said it will probably be challenged in the courts. Saying we will challenge it, I think it is likely to be challenged in the courts.
That was the leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes. On Thursday, Clifton Hicken took the oath to office. Several sections of the media were not invited to witness this swearing ceremony. Nightly News understands that Mr. Hicken's tenure as Acting Commissioner of Police should have legally ended on August 1st, 2023, after his appointment as Acting Commissioner of Police in March 2022. Section 2 of the Prescribed Matters Act of 1967 provides that the age of retirement of a Commissioner of Police is 55 years. Section 2B authorizes the President to permit the Commissioner of Police to continue in office, but not beyond age 60. The relevant parts of the section reads, and I quote, "The Commissioner of Police shall vacate his office on attaining the age of 55, provided that the President, acting on the recommendation of the Police Service Commission, may permit a Commissioner of Police who attained the age of 55 to continue in office until he has attained such later age, not exceeding 60 years, as may before the Commissioner has attained." End of quote. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we've got the most wonderful deals. Get the perfect gift from Digicel. Grab the Samsung A05 for just $17,900, the A25 for $37,900, or treat yourself to the S24 Ultra for only $205,000. And that's not all. Every phone comes with a free 30-day data plan. Don't wait. These holiday savings won't last forever. Visit your nearest Digicel store today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. The Acquisition of Lands for Public Purposes Amendment Bill of 2024 created heated debates between Opposition Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal during Wednesday's sitting. Here's more from Antonio Day.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal noted that the law, which was initially passed in England in 1914, has colonial origins. As a result, it was incorporated into Guyana's legislation upon its independence in 1966. The tenet of the law is that the state has the right to exercise quote-unquote eminent domain over any land that is located inside its borders. According to Nandlal, the government has the authority to take private property for public use, such as roads, schools, and hospitals, and the owner may receive compensation. In cases where the state is obligated to pay, the bill suggests amending Section 7 of the Act to require prompt payment. Additionally, it uses the word adequate to describe the compensation that citizens receive.
Your certificate of title are all owned by you, subject to that overarching power of an eminent domain which lies in the state to take that transport or title from you and pay you adequate compensation.
The amendments to this section essentially aim to ensure that the state's rights to vacant possession of the land that is acquired through coercion, as stated in the bill's explanatory memorandum. According to Article 142 of Guyana's Constitution, no property may be taken or acquired against the will of its owner or in accordance with a law that meets specific requirements. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal vehemently opposed the Acquisition of Lands for Public Purposes Amendment Bill, as he believes that its proposed amendments may have serious implications for persons who have ancestral lands. The opposition MP maintains that the bill be sent to a special select committee for proper perusal and evaluation.
This approach is essential to modernize the existing Acquisition of Lands for Public Purposes Act, Chapter 6205, which has become outdated in light of Guyana's evolving socio-economic landscape.
The MP questioned the bill's use of the word prompt, arguing that a clear compensation schedule is necessary.
The essence of this piecemeal fix to this important piece of act that exists, it does not take a holistic approach to modernizing the entire framework. And that is where we have our problem. A thorough review of the law is necessary.
Mahipal also expressed disapproval of the clause requiring not exceeding 80% in compensation. He argued that the law could allow for lower compensations, potentially as low as 5% or 10%, and called for a guarantee of 80% compensation, a recommendation, he said, the Attorney General accepted. The opposition MP also advocated for the establishment of a tribunal to deal with the compensation disputes, pointing to examples from countries such as Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Canada. Paul concluded that at the end of the day, the land and property rights of citizens and other members of civil society should be able to feel protected under this legislation.
We may be in government with the power. We must always consider our citizens. We must understand that we were given this power to be servants of the people.
Antonio D reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Manza Walton Desir, during Wednesday's sitting of the National Assembly, passionately called for a progressive legal framework governing land acquisition. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Highlighting issues surrounding ancestral lands and equitable development, Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Manza Walton Desir urged the government to demonstrate fairness and respect for Guyana's history. Referring to Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell's earlier comments on dignity and respect for Guyanese citizens, Walton Desir provided examples of discrepancies in treatment.
Because the citizens of Caneview Avenue in Mocha Arcadia that had their properties bulldozed, that had some of their livestock attempted to be buried, beaten by police.
Walton Desir addressed the controversial displacement of Caneview Avenue Moco residents where homes were bulldozed under the pretext of road construction. She argued that a completed road proved the properties were not in its path.
And then they will not, with any modicum of decency, afford the residents of Mocha Arcadia the use of that land. You know what they will do? They will sell it to the Triple F Mafia, their friends, their families, and their favorites.
Walton Desir emphasized the need for the government to reverse the land acquisitions in Mocha Arcadia, aligning with its touted One Guyana mantra.
And then is when we will know that as a government you are serious about the welfare of the people of Guyana. Outside of that, you are sounding brass and tinkling cymbals.
The Shadow Minister criticized the inconsistency in land policies, citing examples for Mocha and other areas such as Greenwich Park and Iflot. While squatters in some regions received titles, Mocha residents faced forced evictions.
The day before, they were bulldozing properties in Mocha. The day after, they were handing out titles to these people on the same embankment. That is the problem that we have, Mr. Speaker.
She underscored how Afro-Guyanese communities have been disadvantaged compared to other communities.
Time and time again, Guyanese and particularly Afro-Guyanese have been disadvantaged and dispossessed by this government.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anna Nandlaw defended government's actions, explaining the colonial origin of the land acquisition law introduced in England in 1914 and incorporated into Guyana's legislation in 1966. He noted that the government has the authority to acquire private property for public use, with compensation provided to the affected owners. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A family is furious about the worsening situation where water from their neighbor's backyard is seeping into their bedroom, causing serious damage to their appliances and other household items. Antonio Day is on this story.
For several months, the Bacchus family of Lot 7 Jaffa Ali Street, Ogo Front, East Coast Demerara, has experienced flooding in their homes due to the nearby property that lacks proper irrigation.
The man don't have a drainage in the next land because I built up the back there. As you can see, I had to raise my kitchen side. And for going there, yeah, there's not there. Right? I had to raise the kitchen. I don't throw away fridge, don't throw away wardrobe, chest to dry, everything I had to throw away from here. Right? As you can see, the soak in there under there again.
One of the occupants who preferred his identity concealed said that on several occasions, reports were made to the Industry Pleasance Neighborhood Democratic Council, known as the NDC, but to date received no assistance. He bemoaned that the matter was even reported to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, but received no assistance.
Go to the council, got to EPA, I got to the sanitary, nobody doing nothing. This machine damaged the water also.
The young man lamented that the situation is worsening as the stagnant water is also harboring mosquitoes. He told this newscast that what is baffling is that none of the relevant authorities are offering any form of assistance.
I need somebody to look into this matter urgent. Yesterday I stopped the council, asked them the update on the issue, right? Because I talked to the lady the night before, right? They, according to the council, they can't do nothing once I talk to the lady.
And who lady is that?
The owner wife.
Nightly News contacted an official from the Plaisance Industry NDC and was informed that the situation is well known to the council, but a response cannot be provided to the press at the moment. The official said that the information will have to be redirected to the NDC's acting chairperson and vice chairperson Vanessa Ben before a definitive update can be provided. Efforts to contact the owner of the property that is posing a health risk for the Bacchus family have proven futile. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Life is full of beautiful moments, but did you know that everyday activities can expose you and your loved ones to harmful worms? From playing in the dirt to cuddling with pets, even eating unwashed fruits and vegetables. These common activities can cause worm infestation. Intestinal worm infections can cause nausea, fatigue, bloating, or even stomach pains. Dr. Sentinel has the remedy for you. Use worm medicine to prevent infections and to rid your family of these pests. Check your nearest pharmacy for Leaven with pack sizes suitable for families large and small. Just a single dose after a meal treats common worms. Protect your family with Leaven so you can focus on what truly matters. Making memories. Distributed by Massey Distribution, Guyana Limited.
Did you know that Guyana has produced 500 million barrels of oil in less than 5 years? Production currently stands at approximately 650,000 barrels per day and is expected to reach 1.2 million barrels daily by 2027. Driving Guyana's future prosperity.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. CARICOM and Japan have called for a peaceful resolution to the ongoing border dispute between Guyana and Venezuela. The call was made following the conclusion of the 8th CARICOM Japan Ministerial Conference in Tokyo, Japan. Kice Gonzalez will tell you more.
Foreign ministers from the Caribbean community, CARICOM, and Japan have reiterated strong support for the peaceful resolution of the long-standing border controversy between Guyana and Venezuela. The joint stance was expressed in a statement released after the conclusion of the 8th CARICOM Japan Ministerial Conference held on December 14 in Tokyo. Ministers reaffirmed their commitment to resolving the Guyana-Venezuela border issue in accordance with international law, emphasizing their backing for the ongoing case before the International Court of Justice, ICJ. The statement underscored the importance of dialogue and peaceful dispute resolution in addressing the territorial controversy. The foreign ministers also discussed the broader regional and international issues on the crisis of Venezuela. They called for adherence to human rights and the rule of law by all parties and advocated for a constructive dialogue between the ruling government and opposition to restore democracy. In addition to the Guyana-Venezuela dispute, the ministers voiced support for the ongoing resolution process of Guatemala's territorial claims against Belize, currently before the ICJ. They called on all parties to respect the court's eventual ruling. The joint statement concluded with a commitment to strengthen high-level political dialogue between CARICOM and Japan, enhancing bilateral cooperation and strategic coordination toward achieving shared international goals. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Kice Gonzalez.
The importance of migration in shaping Guyana's socio-economic landscape was underscored as International Migrants Day 2024 was observed. Here's more from Tiana Cole.
Head of the International Organization for Migration, IOM Guyana, and Deputy Coordinator for IOM Caribbean, Arena Yaw, emphasized that the movement of people, both within and beyond the Caribbean, has long been a defining feature of the region. For Guyana, migration remains a cornerstone for sustainable development and resilience. Yaw noted that Guyana is on the brink of significant economic transformation, driven by oil discoveries and industrial expansion. She stressed the importance of managing labor migration strategically to fully capitalize on its potential. According to Yaw, a balanced approach that includes labor mobility, training, and skills recognition is essential to ensure that the benefits of growth are distributed equitably among all Guyanese. She addressed the challenges posed by brain drain, where skilled professionals leave the country for better opportunities abroad. She highlighted the potential for brain gain through the return of skilled individuals and the integration of migrant expertise as a critical opportunity for national development. Yaw urged policymakers to create strategies that balance these dynamics to foster innovation and progress. Yaw praised CARICOM's effort to promote the free movement of individuals and skills across member states. She stated that this regional policy provides an opportunity for Guyana to access a diverse talent pool and address labor market demands. Yaw underscored that embracing such a framework strengthens Guyana's economic resilience and position the country as a regional leader in sustainable development. The importance of regional cooperation in overcoming nationalistic barriers to progress was also piloted. Emphasis was also placed on strengthening a collective Caribbean identity, which is vital, as the prosperity of one member state contributes to the development of the entire region. Yaw called for increased efforts to foster unity and share goals among CARICOM member states. Yaw highlighted immense potential of the Guyanese diaspora as a resource for national development. She advocated for programs that incentivize diaspora investment and provide pathways for skilled professionals to return home. Yaw noted that engaging the diaspora could accelerate knowledge transfer, entrepreneurship, and economic growth in Guyana. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You need to know that the National Assembly has passed the Security Interests in Movable Property Bill 2024, a law designed to enhance access to financing for small and medium-sized businesses. Kice Gonzalez will tell you more.
On Wednesday, the National Assembly approved the new Security Interest in Movable Property Bill 2024, a legislative move aimed at simplifying loan access for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. This development is expected to improve the financing landscape for businesses lacking sufficient immovable assets for collateral. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Waldron, in her presentation highlighted that this law will address the reluctance of small business owners to seek loans due to the absence of fixed property. By offering a viable alternative, the bill aims to make credit more accessible to a wider range of businesses.
The bill simplifies the process of using movable assets as collateral for secured credit, making credit more accessible to a wider range of borrowers. These include tangible assets like equipment, inventory, crops, livestock, and vehicles, as well as intangible assets such as receivables, intellectual property, and negotiable instruments.
The new bill consolidates various credit securement tools such as bills of sale, finance leases, and pledges of goods into a unified concept called a security agreement. This legal framework secures payment for fulfillment of obligations, and an electronic register will track the registration of movable property overseen by a dedicated registrar. The registration process under the new law will allow for updates and corrections when necessary. However, minor inaccuracies in registration will not invalidate claims unless they are seriously misleading. This flexibility ensures that the system remains practical and efficient for businesses. The transition to an electronic registration system will streamline the process, enabling real-time updates and public access to information on existing claims, the minister explained.
Through the registry's priority system, lenders can determine the order of claims with priority given to the first registered interest. This ensures greater transparency, reduces disputes, and creates a more efficient credit system.
While the bill was praised by Minister, Opposition Member of Parliament, Kemraj Ramchatan, acknowledged the positive impact of the reforms. However, he raised concerns about the capacity of the commercial registry to handle the increased workload, calling for additional resources to support the electronic registration system.
We need, in view of the fact that we're going to have the registration of so many and in various forms of registration, what is called these movable properties, and they can range from a car or a motorbike right down to tractors and even crops that are still to be cut.
However, the Security Interest in Movable Property Bill 2024 draws inspiration from international models, including the secure transaction systems in Mexico, Colombia, and Guyana. These countries have seen notable improvements in access to credit for SMEs and undeserved communities after adopting similar legal frameworks. I am Kice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Shop and win up to $10 million in cash and prizes at Court's Millionaire Jackpot. Shop from November 1 to December 24, 2024 at any Court store. 10 weekly winners at every Court store countrywide from November 10, 2024. And the grand drawing takes place on December 24, 2024 at the Court's Mega Store. Court's, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
This Christmas, Digicel is bringing you the gift of millions. 10 lucky customers will become millionaires for Christmas. Top up $1,000 or more for your chance to win $1 million. Turn your Christmas into a celebration of cash and cheer. 2 new millionaires every week. The countdown to Christmas millions is on. Top up $1,000 or more today for your chance to win. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. The main suspect in the gruesome murder of veteran court reporter Barbara Gill has been captured. He was arrested by police while hiding in bushes in Grange Lane, St. Catherine. Earlier yesterday, Gill's stolen vehicle was found along Dyke Road in Portmore, St. Catherine. Gill was discovered murdered inside her St. Catherine home by a neighbor around 10 a.m. on Wednesday. The last known sighting of Gill was about 3:30 p.m. on Monday, when she was seen sitting on her front porch conversing with a man, neighbors recalled. The man, whose identity was yet to be determined by the police up till late yesterday, was later captured on a doorbell camera footage, calmly interacting with Gill as she offered him a glass of water. The police said they are pursuing strong leads to crack the case. Mayor Amor Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados, is calling for greater collaboration among the 18 countries signed to the Alliance for Security, Justice and Development as the crime rates continues to increase across the region. Speaking at the launch of the Latin America and the Caribbean Alliance for Security and Development and the Alliance's Caribbean Chapter 1, Safe Caribbean, Motley warned that the region could lose the battle against perpetrators of crime if its leaders fail to put up a united front against criminal activity. The Prime Minister maintained that law-abiding citizens must see it as their responsibility to work with these agencies involved in the crime fight. She added that the efforts of one country fighting a battle on crime or on the illicit flow of guns or the illicit flow of money will never work. What is required is the level of cooperation and alliance. The Prime Minister urged regional leaders not to allow crime to derail their efforts at tackling other pressing issues in their countries. Brazil's Senate yesterday passed a bill banning cell phones in schools across the nation and sent the proposed legislation to be signed into law by President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The bill prohibits the use of cell phones in school classrooms and during recess, and it aimed at reducing their negative effect on the learning of children and adolescents. The measure applies to private and public schools and makes exceptions for students that require the use of cell phones and are authorized by teachers. The bill was passed last week by the lower chambers of Congress, and the Senate approved it without changes. Lula's administration supports the bill, and he is expected to sign the bill. A stricter ban on cell phones in schools was adopted 12 days ago by the state of Sao Paulo, which also prohibits cell phones during extracurricular activities by school children. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Police Communications Department silent on why majority of the media was barred from Commissioner of Police swearing-in ceremony. Hickens' appointment to be challenged in court. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton says it is unlawful. Opposition concerned over amendments to Acquisition of Lands for Purposes Bill and balanced migration policies touted on International Migrants Day. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.